Adolf Rehl was re-elected mayor of Vaduz in 1900, then refused to take the office. Vaduz was the capital of Liechtenstein, and the mayor's job was a local civic role, not a national one. In a small place, that office meant direct responsibility for everyday town affairs. The election did not automatically force acceptance. Rehl could win the vote and still decline the position afterward, which made the result unusual. That refusal turned a routine local result into a rare outcome. The town had an elected mayor who did not take the post, even after re-election. The record is simple and striking. He was elected, but he did not serve. In Vaduz, that split between victory and office became the story. Bob Barabee studied tobacco farming in Cuba and played in the NFL in the same year. That pairing puts agriculture and pro football into one calendar year for the same person. One side is field study, the other is the NFL, the top professional football league. The record says he studied tobacco farming in Cuba, then also appeared in the NFL that year. It is not a metaphor or a loose comparison, both activities belong to the documented timeline. That made Barabee an unusual overlap of student and athlete roles. The same year connected a Cuban farm study to professional football. His year ends as a rare documented crossing of two worlds. A Cuban field study and an NFL appearance sit side by side in the same life record. Books were found inside other books in the European Geniza. They were manuscript fragments hidden in old bindings. The collection gathers those fragments from medieval and early modern bindings. In those books, older material was reused instead of thrown away. The oddity is literal. Text survived inside the structure of later volumes where binding material protected it for centuries. When scholars recovered the fragments, discarded binding material became historical evidence. Each scrap could be studied on its own. The result is an archive built from pieces, not complete volumes. The European Geniza works like a library assembled from recovered scraps. The Our Lady of the Holy Spirit Center was linked to a building collapse, a radio station, and the Fifth National Eucharistic Congress. That makes one site part accident scene, part communications site, and part religious gathering place. The link is reuse. The same place served very different public purposes over time instead of staying fixed in one role. Because of that, the site collected separate histories rather than one single identity. Today, it is remembered for those three chapters at once, not for only one of them. Eschiva of Montbéliard fled to Buffavento Castle disguised as a monk. She left her children behind and reached the fortress in plain sight but not in plain identity. She was a noblewoman moving through a dangerous crossing where being recognized could have stopped her at once. The disguise gave her a way to reach the castle without drawing attention. She did not come empty-handed. Eschiva brought ample provisions, the kind of supply that could help a castle hold out longer. Inside Buffavento, she joined an old knight in the defense. The castle's resistance now had both a hidden arrival and fresh supplies behind its walls. Her story ends in a fortress held by disguise, provisions, and resolve. The image is not a battlefield charge but a woman who reached the walls and helped sustain them. The Titanic's most senior surviving crew member, an American colonel, a telegraphist, the chief baker, and a teenage boy were saved together on one upturned boat. They came from different parts of the Titanic's world, crew, passengers, and a boy. In the cold water, rank stopped mattering. The shared rescue platform was the upturned boat itself, giving them a narrow place to cling above the water. That single floating surface made the difference. The boat was cramped, but it held them long enough for rescue to remain possible. Different roles and ages were compressed into one small, unstable refuge. What survived was not hierarchy but improvisation. On that night, a boat turned upside down became a temporary lifeline for 5 strangers. The Kamenkailhuruk Archaeological Museum won a US-based Best Green Museum Award because it was built to look like a grass-covered mound. It opened in 2010 as an archaeological museum at Kamenkailhuruk. The building was styled to sit into the ground rather than stand apart from it. That shape made the museum read as part of the landscape. The green roof and earth form turned the building itself into the message. That design helped it receive the US-based Best Green Museum honor. The award recognized the building's presentation as much as the archaeology inside. So the museum became memorable for architecture and archaeology together. A grass-covered mound changed how the site was seen from the outside. Periodontist Angela Pack publicly called the Dental Council Board lily-livered chickens. She was not reacting to personal drama. The insult landed inside a real professional dispute about who should train dental hygienists in New Zealand. The board was hesitating to allow that training. Pack used the insult to push a decision that had been delayed. That made the issue public, not private. A training question became a confrontation the board could not ignore. The quote stayed attached to the debate over dental hygienist training in New Zealand. One blunt phrase preserved the pressure around a policy choice.